Yo, and we live. Finish strong Friday. Happy Friday. Kings and queens, goddesses, brothers, little puppies, dogs, cats, junior achievement warriors, prayer warriors, all of that. So, hey, man, we are so excited to join you all this morning. I hope you guys had an amazing week. Amazing week. I'm truly thrilled about these Freestyle Fridays. If you don't know me, my name is Donnell Cole. I am the co-founder of Modern Manhood, a masterclass. It is specifically designed to create a safe space for men together, come together and talk about men stuff, whatever that may be, life, business, everything. You know what I'm saying? Barriers that's preventing us from becoming the greatest version of who we're called to become. So, as we usually do, we like to invite extraordinary men and women onto our platform that adds tremendous value to our lives because Lord knows iron sharpens iron. And this journey of life that we're living on is a continuous journey that consistently evolves. But the people that are a part of our journey is what makes it worthwhile. So today, me and Dr. Damon got my brother, Big Rob. I've known Big Rob for a few years now, in a long time. When I first met Big Rob, he was actually doing music with his wife. They had the amazing album, and my wife, me and my wife, we had a ministry at this time, and I was like, "Babe, listen, you see what they doing? We got to do some music together." And I was so thrilled because when I got his album, I played that thing out. Fam, listen, I got your album when it was on CDs and it was scratching, and I was trying to buff that thing like an old Nintendo game. We gotta keep it going, fam. And
Yeah,
it brought so much value to my marriage because our marriage was really new to us. And me and my wife never came from a family that was married together. And so what I value so much in seeing the beauty of your relationship is it gave me aspirations of what could be versus coming from a family where my mom was never married. My dad was married multiple times, but they never quite figured out how to have a flourishing marriage. And so it's so beautiful to see you as a father, you as a person that use your gifts to uplift and edify other people. I've had a beautiful experience with Big Rob and challenges of my life to go to him in his group. He has a men's group as well, and he also has a nonprofit called Road to Love with his wife, who also has a marriage ministry foundation nonprofit. So you give away, bro, endlessly. You give away from your heart in such a beautiful manner. And I think you're just a bright light that I truly adore and I admire. So it's great honor, you guys. I want to bring Big Rob, bro. Thank you for joining us.
man, thank you guys for having me. Uh, man, I appreciate that. What an intro! I need to take you on the road with me, man.
Let's go.
Man, I'm like, man, I didn't even know all of that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I've been following you for a minute. So when I seen you and Britt, like, just doing things out, I was waiting. I couldn't wait to talk to you because I was like, man, we never crossed paths. But when I seen you, I was like, bro, we gotta connect. We gotta connect because there are things that I listen to, and even your music, bro, even the new music that you just came out with, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. And I think like a lot of times I'm like, dude, we have so much amazing talent, but even more, I'm grateful as a man to be able to have another man that I can confide in because that means so much more than what, anything else that you can give away. So I want to make sure you know that.
Man, I appreciate that, man, for real. And it is. It's very important that we have someone that we can connect to, connect with, and to help us through seasons, through moments, whatever the case may be. And so I'm definitely grateful, man, to be able to be a vessel and a tool for men, for marriages. It's what I do, man. It's what I'm passionate about, and I'm just grateful for this opportunity as well. Just love to you guys, to Man Cave, just for having me on, and I'm excited about today's segment, man. It's gonna be dope.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Damien, get us plugged in. What we talking about today, bro?
You really spoke to a big part of what our mission is, and like not just here with Man Cave, but also with what Big Rob is doing is we get into spaces, especially as men, where we might even have support system in place, but when we're offered engagement in that space, we're like, oh, we good. I'm good, man. I'm just, I'm
Mm,
just living the dream, or I'm just rolling with it. And And we have to really get into a space where we can be confident and comfortable in that vulnerability. And I think seeing the work that you do, Rob, really speaks to that. What have you been seeing and experienced like that really keeps us from taking that step and really taking hold of that opportunity when that comes to us?
Man, that's a great question. Couple of things that I'm going to share on that. Number one, there are some men that have tried before. You got to understand with men, sometimes it's hard to reach them. They feel that they can't really show signs of vulnerability. They, coming up, we were told that, being vulnerable or asking for help or admitting to, just needing certain things were signs of weakness. And so instead of us sharing how we feel or opening up to other men or other people about what we're going through, we just shut down. We keep quiet. And I always tell my guys that one of two things is going to happen when you do that. You're either going to implode or explode. And both are dangerous. If you explode, that has the potential of hurting and damaging someone around you, whether it's your spouse or your kids or your friends or whatever. And if you implode, it also then affects you. And that's when people deal with stress, depression, anxiety, contemplating taking their own lives and different things like that. So you have to know that even as a man, it's okay not to be okay. Even as a man, that it's okay to trust someone and trust again, because the other thing that happens with that with men is we do have seasons where we'll say, you know what? I'm going to open up. I'm going to talk to my brother, my accountability circle here, and let them know what I'm going through. And then unfortunately, there may be somebody in that circle that shouldn't have been there. And now they're sharing what you're going through or what you shared in confidence to others. Now it's like, see, this is why I don't, but I want to encourage the men out there, anyone listening, man, allow it to happen again. It's no different than when you're going after something you desire in your business, in your future, in your goals. It comes with failures. It comes with trial and error. It has happened to me before like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let one incident or one person's incapability of keeping things to themselves to allow that to be the determining factor for other men that I know that are solid and that are genuinely there for me. So don't allow that to make you shut down and not trust anybody.
That's beautiful. So, bro, I would say, like, I think a lot of times when we approach different people, it's hard to learn how to trust. So, like, if you are in a position where your trust has been broken again, what are you doing? Like, how do you get to that point to where you can't open up again?
So I compare it to life goals. I compare it to other things. So here's what I know for a fact. There are certain things in our life that no matter how much we fail at it, we're going to keep pursuing it. What do I mean by that? Let me give you the first big example. Women.
Absolutely.
Before you got married, or before you got into the relationship you were in, when you looked at that woman, you knew, I'm going to get her. It
Absolutely.
don't matter what she say. It don't matter how many times she say no. It don't matter how many times she pushed me away. I have a goal, I have a mission, and I have a purpose to get her. And this is another topic or subject, if you will. But then sometimes once we get them, we get relaxed. We chilling
Mm.
now. We stop pursuing the why. Why was I going after her? Why did I feel like I had to have her? Why did I know? How did I know this was my wife? No matter what, we went after them until we got them, bro.
Mm.
And so what you have to understand, you have to set yourself up and line yourself up the same way when it comes to things you need for yourself. You need mental peace. You want peace in your life, peace in your home, peace in your heart, peace in your mind. So when it comes to knowing that I need to reach out to somebody because I need help. I need to have a brother that I can go to. Or I need a circle that I can go to.
Right.
You know what? You may get disappointed in that circle or with that person sometimes, but keep pursuing your mental health. Keep pursuing your mental peace. Keep pursuing it because it is there. But do you want it? Anything worth having, you have to work for it, man. It
Yes,
doesn't
what
happen
I'm
overnight.
so what I'm hearing you saying is that mental help or and self-care has to be a priority. Even when it feels uncomfortable and when it feels inconvenient, you still have to pursue it.
That is right, man. That's right. And when you in doing that, you once it happens, man, you're gonna look up and be like, man, okay, I didn't know. And you ready for this? You'll discover, hello, because I did, you're gonna discover your mental peace, your getting rid of stress,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, anger. It wasn't because of the people around you. See, sometimes we get rid of our spouse, or we get rid
Right.
of our job, or we get
Mhm.
rid of other things and be like, this was my problem. No, the problem was you, because you can get rid of everything around you and still be unhappy, still be sad, still be going through things because you haven't taken care of your issues first. You
Mhm.
hadn't
Mm-hmm.
conquered what you need to conquer to fix you. And once you fix you and recognize you, then you're going to realize everything else around you was always and already there for you
Absolutely.
and to help you along the way and complement what you have going on. But you have to look at you first instead of looking for reasons that everything else is your problem.
That's
And I
true.
think that brings it like such to full circle already, because you can't get to that space of figuring out how to improve on yourself, how to see yourself in a way that moves you forward into better happiness and health, unless you actually are ready to admit that you're not okay
Right.
That's right.
and be able to explore what that looks like and what that means for you. And that's a vulnerable place. But how do we get to that space?
Man,
And
that go ahead.
I think another thing too is the reason why we feel that way is because for you to say I need help means that man, there's something wrong with me, and we don't want to admit that there could be a problem, right? We live in a world that even if you in school, you get applauded for having the best grades, right? If you like a health and fitness coach, you get applauded for having a nice body. So for us to be like, man, look, I might not have it all together, it's like almost like the imagery of what that looks like is so much harder on men. It's like we're expected to have it all together. So saying I got a problem goes against the nature of my identity. And I
Uh,
think that that's the most challenging aspect of it. So what would you say to that, Big Rob?
man, I believe that we have to get to a place where we examine ourselves. What's happening is sometimes, and this may not be everyone, we hide behind certain things. Like with the fitness thing, for example, there are people out there, yes, that are in great shape, but that's just physically. And so what they
Mm,
do, they hide behind that one thing because people praise that one thing. So it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
and I've seen people in great shape leave this world way sooner than people that may be out of shape.
man,
But,
for
Yeah.
but
real.
why? But why? Not because they weren't healthy physically,
Right, mentally.
but they weren't healthy in every other area of their
That's
life.
right. Holistic, yeah.
But they'll open their mouths and tell you that they are. Same thing with people with money. I know a lot of people with great money, great money. And so they'll go out and boast their riches, if you will, because that is what they pride themselves in. But then
Mhm.
behind that mask, behind closed doors, there's a certain area, and they'll be like, yeah, my life is perfect. My everything is this, and this. I got all the money I want, this and this. But they're hurting, man, in other areas,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Yeah.
will not ever share it because they have made the one or two or three things that are successful in their lives their success overall. And that's why when you look at celebrities or people that are in influential spaces, when they're no longer together with their spouse, or they're no longer, or that some of them have had mental breakdowns and stuff. Why? Come on, you got everything you want, right? Right? Why is that happening?
Right.
Because although you have improved in some areas, you never went back to the roots problem of the things that are going on. We learned in counseling and going to some marriage seminars about hidden issues. There are
Right.
things that are beneath the surface that we have going
Mhm.
on within ourselves, as well as towards the people in our
Man.
lives, and we never reveal it, but it's still growing in us and becoming a
Yeah.
toxic, becoming toxic in our lives because we're not digging deep to resolve those problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got two questions. I got one from one of our people in the audience that's watching, and he's saying, "How can you trust someone you just met with your deepest pains?"
Mm, that's a really good question, man. So sometimes that may not be the case. And sometimes I believe if it depends on who it is. I'll give you an example. There are people that have come into my circle and I just knew, like, we connected
Mhm.
immediately. So it's like my spirit, my heart knew this is a solid cat. And sometimes it's trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that the car that you desire to have, your dream car, is going to operate the way you desire it to operate? Is
Right.
trial and error. How do you know that house you bought is the dopest house you ever seen in your life? How do you know when you get into that house that the first time it rained that it ain't gonna flood everything? You don't know because
Yeah.
it hadn't happened yet. But you
Yeah.
trust that it's gonna be everything you want it to be. So that's not the case for everything and every person sometimes, but sometimes you have to just jump, man, and say, you know what? I have a need and I need to talk to someone. So I am willing to put myself out there knowing that this person, I may have just met him, but I'm going to trust that what I need, I'm going to get from this person, man. And so you'll connect with them. And to me, it's no different than a counselor. If you're going to get professional help, a lot of times you don't know who those people are, and
Right.
you're paying for them to help you. You're paying for them to pour into you. So why not have a circle or a person that you may have heard about that encourages people? Whoever, I don't know who that is that asked that question, but you may not know me, but this is what I do. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so,
Yeah.
again, you just never know until you just, sometimes, man, you just have to jump and say, hey, in this moment, like, I'm going to just put this out there and I'm going to trust that it'll stay, personal, private, and that also I'm going to get what I need out of it. And that sometimes that's case by case. But how bad do you need it? How bad do you want it?
Mm.
Yeah. Can I tell you something that happened for me when it's really shifted? It was you've tried everything else, so why not try this?
Mhm.
Right? If the thing, if the same mindset that you have is not working for you, why not try to expand your frame of reference into another individual who has a greater, state of consciousness? Why not? Because I know that the same consciousness that created the problem cannot solve the problem.
That's
Right?
right.
So that means that I have to get outside my box. And the way that that happens is looking at somebody else. And it's not to compare it, so to speak, but it's to say, like when I seen you and I'm like, yo, he got to be doing something right, right? Because you can see the fruit, right?
Yeah,
I just
that's
want
right.
the fruit in my life, bro. If I can get the fruit, that's dope, right?
That's right, bro. And watch this, bro. Stop looking for people that you know is going to agree with everything that you complain about. That's the other
Yeah.
problem. So
Absolutely.
sometimes we want to be right about everything. There is nothing healthy about that at all. If you don't have a homeboy, a circle of people that's telling you about yourself, look
Man.
for a new circle because and that's the thing. You have to want the help, and you have to be willing to be told about yourself. Because when you come to me, for example, and it's like, man, my wife tripping, my wife my girl tripping, this, and this, my boss tripping, this, and this. First thing I'm gonna ask is, why? What's the like
common denominator
foundation to that?
yeah
What's the common denominator to these issues? So the first thing I'm gonna show you,
right
because at the end of the day, even if the problem is the other person, you're gonna have to start with yourself, man.
right
The same way you having issues, you're having problems, they are too. And you're not really talking to one another or coming to a place of agreement because you just want to be heard. Well, no, I listen. No, what you're doing, you're in a double Dutch posture. So they're talking to you, they're telling you how they're feeling, and you may have heard the first thing that you want to respond back at, you're gonna clap back at. So I'm gonna just wait.
Yeah.
And it's, so you done talk 5-10 minutes. Now I'm gonna jump in and I ain't heard nothing you said but the first thing because I'm ready to get my point in again.
that's it
Not
I
good.
think, you speak to, so here's one of the things that I share in that same space of, first of all, we talked about, we need tools. These are conversations, these are feelings, these are experiences that we already know are, so many of us can relate to, but what are the tools we need to really get there? And for me, what I share with some of my coaching clients, because when we experience pain and discomfort as a person, physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, those things all manifest the same way in your brain. And so when I'm working with clients who are struggling with pain, I have them, you got to build a tribe.
right
You've got to be able to connect with people and be honest about what you need from them so that they can either commit to being there for you, or they can tell you that, yeah, I don't know if I can do that for you. So now you are able to kind of miss some of those speed bumps when you feel like somebody's supposed to be there for you a certain way. It takes that vulnerability to really set up your tribe, so that when you get to those moments when you do need to confide in somebody, you do need to share or bounce ideas, you know who to go to, and they know that that's who you are in their lives. So I definitely want to say that really getting your tribe together and having those conversations before you get to the storms and to the trouble can really get you through those moments. And as guys, we have plenty of conversations telling each other, what don't look good on us, or what team we rooting for that ain't the one, or how bad we are at basketball, but we're not having that conversation to set up what that tribe looks like. And we need to really take some time to do that.
Absolutely.
Man, and that's really good.
Yep.
That's really good, man. And go ahead, bro.
I think that's the value of relationships, though, too. I think people got to understand that relationships mirror the aspects of yourself that you're not conscious of, right? They really do. That is the main important thing of why I got people in my life, because people can see I got blinders all day long. I don't know how many curves I didn't hit, right? My wife come home and she see the tire. I'm like, the tire's good, baby. No, the tire's a little bit flat, right? You need people in your life like that. And I think that we got to get rid of the prejudice to be willing to let somebody say, hey, bro, this is something you need to be worked on. Like, there's been problems in my life when I've struggled with addictions. There's been problems in my life where I've been passive with vices. And it was the most uncomfortable thing to say, hey, bro, this is what I'm struggling with. Like, really. Or have the kind of accountability where another man can see my struggles and be like, you know what, bro, this cool. I'll do better. Like, being able to submit under someone else's leadership because you know that they honestly want what's best for you is one of the most impressive gifts when it comes to relationships, and we need more of that.
Wow, man, that is so good. And don't be so alpha.
Talk about that.
Don't be so alpha that you can't submit to someone that really genuinely cares about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When a pack of lions go to battle to protect their pride, it ain't about which one is the most dominant. It's about we're headed to the same thing for the same purpose. We're here to help each other, and we're going to stand side by side and fight together and work through this together as the kings that all of us are, because all of us are kings. It's no you're better than me or I'm better than you. We're out here fighting for the same cause, and that is peace of mind. That is peace in every area of our lives, and to be the best us that we can be, man, in every area of our lives, man. So don't be so alpha that you can't surrender to somebody that's trying to help.
So how do you do that? Like, how do we create that sense of harmony among each other where we can really trust each other on that level?
Mm-hmm. So again, us getting to a place of trust, man, sometimes it does come with time, but it has to be. You have to be consistent. You have to be consistently showing up. So it's like whether it's things that you're being invited to, uh, the small groups, the fellowships, like with my men's group. One of the things that I've discovered, and this is no shot to anyone,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to just speak facts here as people grow. We meet twice a month. Every first and third Tuesday we meet, and we have our In Your Corner sessions
Mm-hmm.
where we just discuss different topics. Well, when we do those deals, there are a couple of things that I know that are facts.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys are not coming to it because their work schedule conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. Then there's the guys sometimes that will not come because of the topics of discussion.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be there for that. But then when it's time for the fellowships that happens once a
Absolutely.
month,
Yeah.
Packed out.
it's packed, bro. It's packed. And so here's the thing. I get it. And so I'm like, I understand. So at least they're coming. They're coming to the fellowships. They're getting to know people, because some people have to do that, because
Right.
some people don't want you speaking into their lives, or some of them may not feel comfortable. Um, so here's what I encourage: show up, even if, and it's okay to show up to the talks, even if you
Right.
don't say anything. And it may be a thing where you have to tell the people in that circle, hey, I'm just here to observe today. And we
Right.
have to give them that space, make it safe to
Hmm.
connect.
I like that, bro.
We got to make it safe to, so tell them, hey, bro, just come. I promise you, I ain't going to call you out. I ain't gonna ask you to say anything. So we have to know our guys too. When you know what a person
Right.
is dealing with, sometimes you have to allow them to just come and listen. I remember speaking at a men's retreat one time, and then they did breakout sessions. And the session that they asked me to speak on was addictions. And
Mm-hmm.
my room was packed, bro. It was packed with just men. And so as I began to speak, I'm looking around the room and I'm like, probably 75%, if not more, of the men in here are not going to engage, because I could tell they're dealing with some stuff, but they are ashamed. So
Right.
here's what I did. I shared my addictions.
Absolutely.
And when they're looking at you as a leader, and they're looking at you, in a thing where it's like, okay, and they be like, word, yeah, man, I dealt with this, and this, and here's how I overcame it. Now, all of the hands are going up in the room. Yo, 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 I got a question, got a question, got a question.
Hmm.
But I made it safe to connect. I made it safe to connect, and I shared me. And it is important. I don't care how successful you are, how great you are. Don't
Yeah.
try to show yourself as having it all together. And even if you do have it all together, at some point you didn't.
Right.
So be willing to share with these men out here where you came from and how they can get to where you are.
Man. That's what
Yeah.
I love so much about
Yeah.
books. That's what I love about books, bro. And so, speaking of books, you just did a rendition of your book. Before we step into that and talk about that, I do want to talk, because I love your book, and I think that's important to promote, because what you're saying, a lot of this is uncovered in that. Because we do wear our mask, bro. We wear our mask, we keep it on, and we feel like it's a great way to keep us safe. but we don't understand that even behind that safety net, there's so much damaging that's going on, right? So I think it's important to acknowledge that. But man, they are going hard in the group right now. Uh, how do you receive the issues? How you respond? Be careful how you take it in. Man, Mim's always coming with it. All right. What about the religious barriers in counseling? Because many people who you talk to speak from their religious background. So what do
Yes.
you do? What do you do when you have different religious views with the person you're trying to help?
That's, I love it. Anybody that knows me know I love God. I'm a follower of Jesus, and I believe his word. But there are people that I am connected to that are not. There are
Absolutely.
people that I'm connected to that don't even go to church. They don't read the word. And guess what? It's all good, because what my Bible says and what I believe is this. This is how they'll know you're my disciple, not by shoving Jesus down their throat, not by shoving the Bible down their throat, but by the
Mhm.
love that you
Absolutely.
show me. So I
Mm,
show love to everybody. And so here's how you get past that barrier. You may be tired of hearing what thus said the Lord, even if it's true. You may be tired of hearing what the Bible says. Guess what? Guess what, guys?
what's that?
Even as a believer, even as being in church all my life, I got tired of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were things going on in my life that wasn't manifesting and changing. And I kept hearing the word, kept hearing this, and that. And I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that mess, man.
Right.
But here's what I realized, bro. I got to a place where I was no longer listening, but also I got to a place where I thought that was it.
Right.
So what you have to understand is, man, sometimes you have to go outside of your church walls and connect with some men that'll talk to you and they may not ever say, man, when I have my group, sometime depending on my circle, um, of that particular thing, some of the events I do, they know that we're going to go there. But then
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when we come together, we may not once mention or reference a Bible verse or
Absolutely.
God, because what I understand where some of you are and what you're dealing with. And so what I do, I tell you, let's go outside of the walls, because I've even learned that there are men that are in the church that'll open up more outside of the church.
Man, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so we do that. And then going back to the professional thing, find somebody that you can talk to and get encouragement from and advice from that is just a licensed professional, that is
Yes.
neutral and have nothing to do with quoting word or
Right.
telling you to come to the church office so we can talk about
Right. The one thing
Yeah.
I value when it comes to professional help is they understand how the mind works.
it.
Right.
Yes.
Like my man, Dr. Damon. If I tell you my knee is sore, my brother's gonna get down to the root cause, right? He's gonna evaluate every aspect that can possibly lead to what is manifesting in my life, right? And I think that we got to get to the point that where we stop doing religion with people and we start doing relationship with people. And I will
Come on.
mention Jesus. That's what I valued about Jesus, because he's like, yo, I'm gonna get down in the trenches with you, right?
Yep. Yep.
If we talking about going to war, I'm gonna wash your feet. I'm gonna make sure your foundation is good. And it takes a good, earnest, compassionate nature to say, bro, I'm willing to put what you value most over my own well-being if it means that we both get the win together.
That's right, man. And you ready for this?
Absolutely.
The people in the church at that time had a problem with Jesus because he was doing that. So who am I and I'm not saying this is the case, but if I choose to go outside of the church walls and make a difference in the lives of people that may be viewed as a sinner, although
Right.
all are, then why not? I'm going to do the unpopular thing. I'm going to go out there in the trenches just like he did, because
Right.
I
Hmm.
am his brother and I am supposed to be like him. So the church, inside the church, you good, right?
Right.
And I still go to church and I still, worship the Lord and everything. But when I minister, when I pour, I do it in and outside of the church
That's
because
right.
there are people outside of the church that ain't gonna ever come in. But
Man.
they need change too. They need God too. They need help too. So who am I to stay amongst light? I had this conversation with some of my brothers. When light is around light, who there's there's nothing being shined on.
Right.
When me and Dr. Damon and Donnell get together, we all are light.
Right.
There's no darkness there. So we have to take our light to
Right.
darkness. So we're
Right.
not benefiting one another just being around each other all the time,
Right. Right.
talking and sharpening each other. That is important, but we got to go to the dark places too.
Right. I will say this, just for the record. I have dealt with difficulties in my life where I've shared stuff
Oh,
with Big Rob, huh? I have had difficulties where
awesome.
I've shared with Dr. Damon. I've had difficulties where I hit up my brother Winfred. You know what I'm saying? Like I do. Like I'll be the first person. People think like, dog, you always positive. You seem to always have it together. I wish that was the case. No, I don't wish that was the case. Because if I knew I had it all together, then there's levels that I'm in a state of complacency.
Mm,
Yeah,
If I'm being 100, if I'm not growing, if there's not something else in my life that needs
that's
to be
right.
exposed in who I am, that means that I've stopped seeking, right? And so that's important. What other questions? What's
absolutely.
up, y'all?
So in the meantime, I want to say this because I think you made a really good point there. When we talk about what it looks like to really bring that tribe together and learn who it is, can be and should be there for you in those moments where you're struggling, I want to encourage you all to think about it this way. Ask yourself, is this person right here that I'm sitting in front of, is this person a mirror or a megaphone?
Mm,
Mm,
Is this person a mirror or a megaphone? Is this person able to help me see myself?
come on.
Are they
that's
are they
beautiful.
allowing me and helping me to see myself, good, bad, and ugly, in a way that allows me to walk away from this conversation, this situation better as the ideal person that I want to be? Or
I
is this
like
person a
it.
megaphone? Is this person going to take every complaint that I have about this person, that situation, that job, this everything else in the world, and just blow it up and not just tell everybody else, but tell me that that's what we need to be focusing on. So when
Man,
we talk about tools, we talk about how to develop those relationships with that possible person who can be part of our tribe. And I'm speaking to our brother who said, how do you share with someone when you just met them? How do you find that space or that comfort in doing that? Ask yourself, in the dealings with that person, are they a mirror or are they a megaphone? Because we need
that's
mirrors in
good.
our life.
That's
Yes,
good.
sir.
That's good, bro.
Oh man, I
That was
love that.
powerful. That was
That's powerful.
powerful.
I'm gonna have to post that quote. If y'all haven't done that yet, please post that. Are you a
Yeah,
mirror or a megaphone? Even in the comments, brothers, put that in there. Are you a mirror or a megaphone? That is powerful. We all need to have that reflection to show us. And that goes back even earlier when I was saying, like, when I sit down with you, I'm gonna show you you.
Mhm,
I'm going to show
mhm.
you, and we're going to tackle those things and get to the root of the things that are going on, because that is what matters. Me telling somebody else about it, me telling you, like, no,
Yeah,
let's tackle the root issues and uproot those things and replant, regrow. It's okay. It's okay to unlearn. We have to unlearn things. And because, listen, we've been learning our way all our lives. And when you've consistently done something, you think that that's the way it's supposed to be. But what if you're consistently doing it wrong?
man.
But in your mind, you think you're right because that's all you've known. But that's
mhm.
because nobody was ever there to correct you or give you the truth of that area to make it better. So maybe some of the components are good, are true, but then there can be things that can be chipped off and added on to make it even better, even greater. But are you willing
Right.
to
So this is what I'm
learn?
saying. I hear you saying that make space to create new behaviors.
Come on.
I think
That's
it's
right.
I think it's I think that's one of the most beautiful things about how God made us is that we always have the opportunity for newness, but that may require us taking on new behaviors. And that's just even like dancing. Like you may have one particular dance style that you do with your spouse, but your spouse goes and learn a whole new dance because of something that comes on. Like those
Mhm.
those old dance moves, they may have worked for just a season, but for wherever you got to go in the next season, you might have to learn something new. And you might
Yeah.
step on some feet every now and then. But if you stay with it, eventually you'll grow to a newer state of harmony, man.
And you got to be
That's
able
really
to
good.
admit you're not good. Like I'm not. My
Fact.
dance moves ain't good right now. This ain't cutting it, bro.
Man,
You got to stop capping. You're not
Yes,
good.
absolutely. And that's
that's
okay. That's
That's
okay.
okay.
it is. Hey,
Unless
and
you're Leo, because Leos are perfect at everything they do. Leos are good at everything. All right. We want to put that disclaimer out there real quick
Oh, is
so
that
there's
it?
no
Okay. Okay.
misunderstandings.
that is hilarious. Hey, the other thing with that too is like when it comes to change, you have to be willing to change. Look at it as a job. There are people that have become complacent and comfortable at a job that they're at, that when they know it's time for them to leave and do something else, they won't do it because they are afraid or they are comfortable. And then there are those that are super excited, like, I've been waiting for this next opportunity. Let me get out of this complacency. Let me get out of this comfort zone. Let me get off of this old job, these old things, and go to what's new. And we have to look at that the same way when it comes to our way of thinking and doing things. Some of us
Man.
stick to how we think, we stick to how we think, stick to how we act, and stick to what we do because it's comfortable and we don't want to change. And then there are those that are like, I've been waiting to get better, waiting to do things
Man.
a better way. So I'm ready to go. Let's do
Right.
this.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
You
saying?
got to ask, what is the cost of me staying the same? What is the cost? What is the cost of me staying the same? What am I missing out on? And is the patterns that I have, are they serving my best interest?
That's
We,
right.
we really have to get that. And that goes for if you have a family, if you're in a relationship, if you have children. I think we have to be mindful of what our best interests look like, what our highest being look like, and be willing to go on that journey of growth. It's okay. Like if you're going through a stage where you're hurt, that's okay. And recognize that those symptoms are some of the greatest teachers. Bro,
Yeah.
it's such an advantageous opportunity to take on a new nature of yourself. That's why I like it's kind of crazy too in my mind when I'm going through stages of depression. Like I went through this depression where I literally couldn't get out the bed and I could not figure it out. And I didn't even recognize it till my kids came and told me, you're angry. You're either angry or you're sensitive. Like you're not who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard to receive that. Like, man, my kids told me that, fam. But then I had to look at myself and say, bro, you're really not being your best self. How can you really show up for that? And that may take time to seek a counselor. It took time for me to seek out brotherhood. It took time for me to be like, you know what, man, it's okay to be in this space because I know I'm not the only person that's dealing with the problems that I'm dealing with.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's amazing, man. That's so good.
It can be a struggle. We battle with this societal pressure as men to be all right. You're supposed to be, strong and stable no matter what obstacles come your way. And finding the balance between being vulnerable enough to see yourself, to see your shortcomings, but also to be stable and strong enough to see your strengths,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And figure out
Mm-hmm.
how you're going to walk in both of those truths and keep moving towards your ideal self can be a lot of trouble. It can be troublesome for us because we got to pack that on top of showing up already in the world,
Man.
right? As a protector, as a provider, as a foundation. How do you figure all of that out, Rob? Because I'm looking at the work that you're
Bro,
doing, the lives that you're touching. How do you figure that out? Because man,
Man, this
where does the healer go for healing?
right.
said, oh man, listen, man, listen. I had to take a moment, man, because that's a good. My allergies acting up for a second. Man, let me tell you, brother, something. And yes, I cry sometimes because there's health in that too. We've been so
Absolutely.
men all of
Yeah.
our lives that people feel like they can't have moments of vulnerability, man.
Yeah.
And let me tell you guys something, man. I'm so thankful that I changed my way of thinking and changed what I say. So where does the healer go for healing? He goes to his brother. He goes to
Yeah.
his circle. He
Man.
trust again and say, you know what? First
Yeah.
thing I do, I go to the Lord, and my steps are ordered by him. And he shows me who's in my life. He brings the right people to my circle. And it's the thing, here's the thing, I reposture myself in how I think and what I say. I always talk about the power of our words.
Yeah.
Death is in your mouth. Life is in your mouth. And whatever you say will manifest in your life. I believe in the power of words. I
Mm.
believe it because I have used it and I have seen it come to pass in my life. If there's something going on with you, something going on in your life that you don't like, speak to that thing and watch it
Man.
change. If there's something you need to be different, if there's something you need to be better, it may not look like it right now. It may not feel like it right now. It may seem like it is not going to change, but I promise you, the more you speak it, you're going to start feeling a shift in your mind, a
Man.
shift in your heart. Look, I'll go back to the pursuit of the woman. How many times do you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna get her. Oh, she gonna be mine. I'm gonna get that." And you said that to yourself so much
Right.
that even when the people around you thought you were crazy and didn't have a chance, you got her. Why? Because
Absolutely.
you were so confident in the words that you told yourself
Right.
that it manifested in your life. That does not just pertain to the pursuit of women. That pertains
Right.
to the pursuit of happiness.
Hmm.
It pertains to the pursuit of self-care. It pertains to the pursuit of financial stability. It pertains to the pursuit of everything you desire to see change and different in your life. The more you speak it, the more you believe it. There are beautiful
Come
people
on,
out there
bro.
that I've seen with the lowest self-esteem because for
Yeah.
so many years they were told by somebody they were ugly, that they were worthless, and they started believing it because they kept hearing it. And
Right,
I
bro.
promise you this, the more you tell yourself, I am great, I am a great guy, you'll start believing it and
Yeah.
it'll manifest in your life, man. You have to use your words and the power in your words to change your situation, because then you're going to be thinking different and you're going to be like, you know what? I can get this.
Absolutely.
Do this. I can have peace in my home. I can have happiness in my marriage. I
Let's
can
go.
have stability on my job. I can have everything that I desire to have because I manifested it through my words. And I
Absolutely.
believe it
Yes.
and I'm gonna watch it happen, man. Listen, my marriage got better because I spoke healing and health in my marriage. And as I began to speak it, I began seeing things and tools started coming to me to use to make
Woo!
it. Because that's
Yeah.
the other thing. The more when you start saying you desire something, want something, those tools and opportunities are going to
Man.
come your way. They're gonna now. Are you going to use the tools now? Are you going to use what's been given to you now, or are you going to just keep talking about it? Because the
Man.
because the provision has been given, the doors have been opened, but are you going to walk in?
Man. Let's
Right.
go.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a post I made. The doors can show up all the time, but unless you allow them to do what they're created to do, it does not matter, fam. I think that's beautiful, man, to also recognize you have the authority and you are a magnet, fam. So a lot of times these things show up because we truly desire. They are there to help us get to whatever it is that we really need for our lives. So for you guys that have brothers that's showing up, that's like, hey, yo, what's good? And they're opening their heart. It's because, man, that's for you. That is for you.
That is an
It is
opportunity.
it is
So,
definitely for you, and use that tool. Don't be ashamed, man. Like, use the tools that you've been given. They're there for you. They're there for us, man. And so sometimes I
man,
believe that Even, even with me being a believer, and I go to God and I'm praying and I'm like, God, I need this, this, and this to change and happen in my life. God is there for me through my brothers.
Right.
He's there for
Absolutely.
me. He's there for me through my wife. So in an essence, when I'm not receiving my wife's advice, when I'm not receiving my wife's love, when I'm not receiving my brother's correction, I'm pushing God away.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
pushing peace of mind away. I'm pushing change in my heart and in my life, things that I need to do better in, or the answer to my problems. I'm pushing it away when I don't receive it when it's brought to me, because again, it may not sound like what I want it to sound like, because it's not what I want to hear.
Man.
But it is it may not be what you want to hear, but it is what you need to hear.
Right.
I think that
Because
comes down to,
change is
go ahead.
uncomfortable. Change
Yeah.
is uncomfortable, man.
Absolutely.
Man.
Change is
But what,
uncomfortable. You was talking about working out earlier. When you know you've gotten out of shape and you've gotten to a place where it's like, man, it's gonna come. Donnell, you just posted, was it yesterday, about your legs?
Bruh, listen. Man, my coach be trying to kill me. But what I noticed is that you cannot grow without inconvenience.
Come on, man.
Inconvenience is so remarkable. Like it makes me see how much we dodge pain. Bro, pain is dope. It don't feel good, but
so
it's good for us, bro.
Come on.
pain, I'm gonna tell you, this is, so I'm a pain coach, quite literally.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a physical
Yeah.
therapy doctor, but I'm also a pain coach. And what that means is I'm a master certified coach who help people figure out how and why they need to overcome and conquer their pain. And when we talk about pain, one of the first lessons I share, and I mean this physically and even mentally, pain is a gift.
Man, wow.
Pain is a gift. Pain is a gift from your brain, which gets your conscious self, your spirit, your soul, however you like to see that. Pain is a gift from your brain to get your attention to something that could be dangerous to you so that you can make a decision on how you want to move forward and live happier and healthier. So if we keep pushing away pain, we are pushing away, as you said, Rob, so beautifully, we're pushing away all of those opportunities for growth, for love, for respect, for all the things we say we want in our lives. And so we have to be able to embrace the anxiety, embrace the discomfort, and learn how to calm the pain so that we can really grow and be who we need to be. And when we bring this full circle, this is what we're talking about. You have to be able to look at it and say, I'm not good. And then you have to be able to see the opportunities around you and the support systems and the tribes and the tools around you to be able to utilize what you need to get out of that, get beyond that, get through that.
Man, let me say something. So what would you say to the person that does not know that they're not good? So I know my brother, one of my brothers recently, he had COVID and he had been just going hard, bro. And his daughter got sick, so he went to the hospital and the doctor ran some tests on him and said, man, your blood pressure's not where it should be at and you are really sick. But mentally, he had been so tough and had been so resilient and so stoic, and all of his and everything he had going on, that he didn't even know he was sick. And the doctor said, I don't even know how you're walking right now, because based on these levels, you should be almost in a coma where you're at right now.
Wow.
So sometimes we walk around and we feel like we're okay, but we're really not okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, go ahead.
You have to do a self-check every day. Every day.
What does that look like?
You have to ask yourself, how am I today? And for some people, there may be a list that come with that. Write out a list. Mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, socially, and then just check off each one. Am I okay in this area today? And not just be like, emotionally, yeah, spiritually, yeah. Like literally take a moment and think about what each one of those components look like for you, because you need all of those components to survive. You may not need them all to function in some ways, but just like a car, Our car has to be maintenance. You may have a new car. You can go to a lot right now. Brand new car, no miles on it, brand new tires, everything. And when you put it on the road and you start hitting bumps and rocks and traveling and putting
Yeah.
miles on it, you're gonna have to every bit of time, you're gonna have to go and get a tune-up, an oil change, get your tires rotated, get them, get it serviced. Because if you don't, it may be one thing that just start off like, let's say the brakes start rubbing a
Yeah.
little bit. But then
Yeah.
you don't go change the brakes. Now they're rubbing hard. Now it done turned into a issue with everything else, other things that's there. Other things will start to go, okay, need an oil change, and then just keep driving and driving and driving and driving and
Man.
see if you don't throw a rod in your car because you
Right.
didn't go get it serviced. So it's the same thing with us. We're putting miles on our body.
Man.
We're putting miles on us. So we have to get service too for our physical and spirit, man. We have
Man.
to
Yeah.
get service, man. And we have to be willing to go and get it. And guess what? Some shops may be better than others. Some may cost you more, but you're going to
Mhm.
get what you pay for. So be
Man.
willing to go and
Yeah.
allow your body and your spirit, man, to be serviced so that you can keep rolling, so that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can keep going, man, because your body weren't meant to just put 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it and
That's
then
good.
take it to the salvage yard. We gonna
Yeah.
ride this thing till the wheels fall off, huh? I
Facts.
done got into some cars that got 200,000 miles on the car and still running, and there are people with brand new cars sitting on the side of the road.
Right. So listen,
Oh
Rob, I'm gonna
man.
jump in because you are exactly
That's
right. And
good.
I love that space you went into kind of doing that check. And I'm going to share a tool very specifically. This is the tool that I use with my clients and my patients, and it's called a wellness wheel. I'm going to see if this will pop up, if you guys can see that. This is called a wellness
Yeah,
wheel. And what you want
Yeah.
to do is exactly, you want to engage with a wheel that literally tells you and shows you those areas. There's already, the work is done out there. And there are people, counselors and psychiatrists and psychologists and coaches who can help you to really do the work and figure out where
I
that
like
lies,
this.
because it's not just about going to see someone because you have a medical or a mental illness, so to speak. This is, I need a coach, just like you need a coach to get better at basketball. You might need a coach to get better
Right.
at life. So that can be a
Right.
pastor, a preacher, and a wellness coach, or a pain coach, or a therapist. But you want to use tools like this. You guys can look at this
Man.
right now on Google Wellness Wheel, and you literally, what you do is you take those areas that's shown there and you write it down, and you take occupational, you take the spiritual level, you
Mm.
take the intellectual level, the physical level, and you want to rate it. And so I have my patients and my clients give it a number from 0 to 10. 0 means it's the worst part of my life, and I know I need to make some change, even if you don't know what that change is. And 10 is, this
Yeah.
is the
oh
best
man,
part of my life. You go through that wheel and you give
yeah,
everything a number, and then you decide what you want that number to be. Now you're in a
That's
place to see
dope.
what parts of your life you can focus on.
hey,
Hey
Dr.
man, we need to
Damon,
tap in.
that is
Yes.
that is really, really good. Watch this. You were talking about a coach. It is important for us to have that. So let's go sports real quick.
Yeah.
Arguably, and I won't say any names. So in basketball, who everybody have said who their GOAT is, whether it's
Mhm.
Michael Jordan, LeBron James, whoever. But guess what? Even in being a great player in the game, you have a coach. Why? Because a coach that's on the sideline can see what you don't see.
Man.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is say, hey, time out. Time out. Come here, bro. I know you the GOAT. I know you're doing great, but check this out. Look at this. Because the tapes don't lie. When you
Right.
go back, and so in our life, when we go back, we're going back and we're sharing, hey, this is something that needs to be different. Now get back in the game and let's win. And you ready?
Let's go.
Even the GOATs take L's, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Even the GOATs take L's. But it doesn't mean that you're not great. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to still win the ring. If you're going to win, the battle is not over until you win. You keep going, you keep practicing, you keep working out, you keep getting better at what you do, so that when the adversary, or when the challenges, or when the addictions or the vices come, you're going to be able to win, because you practice, you put in the work, you surrounded yourself, ready for this? You surrounded yourself with teammates that complements you. Listen, in life, you need to surround yourself with a super team.
Let's go. Let's go.
You want to win? Surround yourself with a super team. You are great at what you do, but you can't do it by yourself, man. You can't do it by yourself. Get you a team, get you a coach, and win the ship back to back to back to back to back. Your life is a dynasty. Oh my goodness.
Woo!
Yeah.
Bro, you talking to somebody today, bro. Listen, man, I'm about to jump out this seat, bro. Come on, dog. Hey, Damon. Hey, post that wheel again, bro.
The wellness wheel? I'll share it in the comments.
Bro.
I'll share pictures. I'll share it in the comments.
I just want to say something real quick, dog. Damon got the tools. You ain't even got to recreate the wheel.
Man, listen. Y'all, listen. This is dope. I'm gonna tell you, if y'all listening to this right now, know that there are teams out there, there are coaches out there, there is space for you. There is space, there are tools, there are things that can help you to be and see your ideal self right now. And there are people out here who want to support and see that. Big Rob, we got to thank you for sharing this moment with us, man. Tell us about your teams. Tell us about what you're doing. And what's coming up next for you and yours?
Man, thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for this space and having me on, man. I run a nonprofit organization called Road to Love Foundation. That's Road, the number 2, Love Foundation. The 2 main components we focus on, one is the self-care and mental health awareness of men. We're really going after that. And so under Road to Love, I have a men's group called Fathers Fight Club that I serve alongside of my good friend Corey Mims, who's also the vice president of Road to Love Foundation, man. Yeah, man. So shout out to my bro Corey. So we do that, man. And through that, like I said, we're meeting twice a month. We're doing manly adventures that Corey was doing even before we got together, just going out doing manly things together for fellowships, retreats, and different things, man. We're offering counseling for men, professional counseling and different things like that. Yes. And then the other component is just focusing on couples, man, married, engaged, dating with purpose, waiting with purpose, and just strengthening about just promoting healthy relationships, man. And so just doing that. And so we have a marriage group called Empower Couples that's also on Facebook. And then Fathers Fight Club is also on Facebook. So yeah, man, I encourage you guys, man, like, come and be a part of what we have going on. Me and my wife do music together, of course, that just focuses also on healthy relationship and stuff. We do love music together. We just released our 5th album.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. So check that out. I also have a book called Behind the Mask of a Worship Leader, and it's just my personal testimony about being in leadership and hurting, being in leadership and going through things, dealing with addictions and just dealing with just other things and how I overcame them while serving. overcame them, and just changing my way of thinking and allowing God to do some new things in my life, man. So that's what we have going on. We do have a retreat that we're working on right now, a big event coming up with our couples, but we're also working on a retreat for our men, and we'll be sharing that soon as well. So just if you're not following us, feel free to do that. And I will say this real quick and I'm done. If you are a man that want to come into the Father's Fight Club, if you can't find it, just hit me up. You can follow me on my page as well, and I'll give you the link. But if you share a page with your wife, which I know there are several men that do, you can't be on our page in Facebook because we keep our page exclusively for just men. But if you still want to know what we have going on and stuff, just inbox me, and we always send messages and stuff to the other men. And I also post it on my personal page.
Yeah,
so
they posted. Yeah, I just talked to your people and had them post the link in there. And so, guys, I do want to say something real quick. So this program, the Father's Fight Club, has been a blessing to my life. I had joined his group, and in the middle of, I think, our second counseling session, I found out my brother passed away. All right. And it was unfortunate because we was just about to start it. These brothers reached out to me. These brothers prayed for me. They kept space for me. And it was unfortunate, but I was so grateful to have you guys because it allowed me to know that grieving is something that you have to allow to happen in your life. It's not always easy to be emotionally and deal with these things that happen in our lives because they're unplanned. And sometimes we don't know how to release it. So they were amazing at that. This program, if you, I would say sign up for it, select this link. Secondly, shout out to Brittany Clay. Your wife is super dope, uber dope.
Bro.
So shout out to the queen behind the king because your album is fire. All right, it's fire. I blasted the thing for about 2 weeks. It was the only thing I listened to until when I woke up, and the songs were stuck in my head, fam. The songs were stuck in my head. It's an incredible body of work, bro. People tripping. It's dope, bro. So salute, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I always acknowledge my wife, man. I'm so grateful and thankful for her. And yeah, Love R&B, that's our group name for Rob and Brittany. So follow us at Love R&B as well. This shirt, even Healthy Mentality.
Got one. I got two.
Yeah, this is our shirt, man. So
yeah, we're gonna support, bro. So awesome. Dr. Damon, what you want to do?
Listen, it's a lot out there, and we want to share a little bit of what we got going on in the man cave.
Hold on one second.
We're rounding. Yeah.
Brittany says she loves you, Rob.
Oh, love you too, Queen. Love you too, baby.
All right. Interruption. Take that.
He said the megaphone reference wasn't clear. So the megaphone reference, they want that again. The mirror and megaphone.
So in short, you have to ask the question of yourself, the person that you're sitting in front of and you're sitting with. And if you're thinking about whether or not it's worth confiding in that person and what the value of your relationship is with them, is that person a mirror to you? Is that a person who is letting you see yourself, good, bad, and ugly, so that you can visualize and work on being your best self? Or are they a megaphone? Are they just going to take your complaints, your grievances, and blow them up and share them in a way that's not productive, that's not helping you grow or helping anybody grow for that matter? So you can ask that question almost in any situation. Is this person a mirror or a megaphone for me? And ask yourself, are you showing up that same way in your relationships on your end? I hope that helps clear that up. But we're going to finish and wrap up, guys. Listen, first off, shout out to everybody who attended the last meetup with the Man Cave. Amazing, amazing experience that I'm hearing. And we are, again, our focus, Donnell and I, is to create and to cultivate space for healing and for growth and for seeing ourselves completely and moving towards the people and the men that we want to be. So thank you all for supporting and for showing up. And we're planning one more meetup for the rest of this year. And I'm telling you guys, we have some amazing things coming up in the Man Cave for 2022. We're going to finish off this year. If you're in the Man Cave, I need you to hear this. We're going to finish off this year with one more virtual masterclass. The meetups and the masterclass and these Friday chats, they're all different and for different reasons. So I want you all to be able to tap into that. Our masterclass is an experience where we go in hard charging for about a 2-hour session of visualization for seeing ourselves, seeing where we want to be, for seeing how we're showing up, for really utilizing tools. I mean, specific tools and skills that when you walk away from that experience with us, that you have enjoyed, that you have thrived in, and you've seen your best self, you're gonna walk away a better man, and we can guarantee it. So I want you all to look forward to the opportunity to jump into our next virtual man cave, but coming early 2022, we're doing it live, baby. And this is about to be an experience that will change some lives. And I'm talking about mine and Donnell's and anybody else who walks into this space. So I wanted to share some excitement about that. And I want to share some encouragement with everybody, and especially my guys out there who, like most of us, are struggling with something on that wheel needs some attention. So be sure that you go out and you find it. You find those tools, you find those coaches, you find those tribes, you find those teams, and live and be your best self.
That's it. Say, brothers, just know you have a tribe. You have a tribe, all right? You have, men are always saying that we may not have a place to connect. You have it. You hear it. Everything that you could ever need is here. I'm so grateful that God is blessed with the opportunity to have abundance among us. I thank you, brothers, for all that you are. I think you guys are amazing. Thank you, Big Ralph, for opening space, because I know you 100 miles of running and doing all that you can, bro. So we love you, bro. We thank you for giving space. We thank you for showing up your best. We thank you for showing up even when you may have things going on in your life, bro. Thank you for being such an amazing leader to all those you love, bro. We really do appreciate you.
Man. Thank you guys as well, man, for real. Man Cave is doing a great thing. Keep doing what you do. And I just speak, man, continue just blessings and abundance over everything you guys do, man. You are a safe haven. You are a place of refuge for men. And that is rare in these days, to have genuine men that doesn't have a personal agenda, just to see people be and do better. So much love to you guys for that, man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Dr. Damien, you got anything else?
Hey, have a great day, everybody out there.
Absolutely. Hey, KG, post the Man Cave link. If anybody wants to join the Man Cave, let us know. We got the link. We're going to post it. Come in the Man Cave. It's going down. We got new men, and we always building each other up. We love you guys. Have an amazing Friday. Peace.